Hey, this is really funny. Some of you may have noticed that Melania Trump has been on an interview tour lately because of this memoir that she wrote. She has videos she's putting out and she's being interviewed. CNN has now announced that when they tried to schedule an interview with her to talk about the book, they asked CNN for $250,000. She wanted to be paid $250,000 to be interviewed. Now, apparently, the book publisher is saying it was a misunderstanding. So the article reads, nearly 2 months ago, CNN reached out to Melania's publisher to ask for an interview. After several exchanges, the publisher sent an unusual demand last week. An interview would cost $250,000. In an email to CNN, Skyhorse Publishing sent a document labeled Confidentiality and Non-Disclosure Agreement, laying out the terms, and it included a licensing fee of $250,000. CNN didn't sign it. Days later, after a separate CNN journalist asked about the fee, the publisher said it was a mistake, saying, quote, neither Melania nor anyone from her team knew anything about the NDA, and the document that was sent reflected an internal miscommunication. Had CNN signed it, the normal course of business, we would have approached Melania's team to talk about specifics. Paying a public figure for an interview, especially the spouse of a political candidate, is highly frowned upon. You know, let me see how I want to say this. In the past, we've dealt with Skyhorse Publishing, and in the past, sometimes we've been asked for money for interviews. Now, listen carefully. I'm not saying Skyhorse asked us for money. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we've had publishers ask us for money, and we've dealt with Skyhorse before. Two separate statements. Whether they overlap or not, I'm not saying right now. It is absolutely outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous. And it raises questions as to whether Melania was paid for this softball interview that she did with Sean Hannity.
Wow, you were expecting it all.
I did, because I saw how they treat him, how the media was against him. I think they are afraid of his strength. And he was leading this country with peace through strength.
We know that they don't even live together. She's missing from the campaign trail. This is all a farce. This is theater, as some would call it. But now we have an additional question, which is, was Melania Trump paid for this softball interview? Or what about when she was interviewed in an even more softball interview with Fox News' Ainsley Earhardt talking about how great Trump is? Did she get money for this one?
How do you feel when people say they don't like him? What do you wish they knew about him?
That he is really a family man. He loves his family.
What?
He loves this country.
He once said that his son is doing a good job, Barron, and was able to express barely a positive attitude towards him. He seems sometimes completely indifferent to what's going on with his kids. He has no relationship with his wife. What are you talking about? So, of course, now after CNN was asked for $250,000 for an interview with Melania, we are left to wonder, did she get paid for these interviews? What we know for sure is that all of the positive feelings she claims to have for Trump in these interviews seem completely undercut by what's actually happening in their relationship. Fall is here. Temperatures are dropping. It's time to start baking delicious homemade favorites. Our sponsor, Wild Grain, is here to warm up your house with sourdough breads, fresh pastas, artisanal pastries, including a wide array of seasonal offerings. They'll even have a small number of apple cider donuts, one of my favorites growing up in New England, so get them before they sell out. Wild Grain makes it easy by doing the hard work for you. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wild Grain's boxes are customizable. Whatever your tastes and dietary restrictions are, they can do it. In addition to their classic variety box, they recently launched a new gluten-free box and a plant-based box. It just takes the hassle out of baking because all items bake from frozen in 25 minutes or less. No mess, no cleanup. My favorite, I have to admit, is the croissants. They come in frozen. You bake from frozen. The quality and freshness is top notch. I'm a big croissant guy, and these were delicious. Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Pacman to start your subscription. The link is in the description.